Telling y'all after that.
I want to find a Christian girl.
Christian girl?
Yeah.
That matters to you?
Yeah.
What if she's like, thinks the world's 6,000 years old?
As long as she does other things.
Dude, imagine how crazy you'd have to be to think that. The world is not. There's just so many facts to dispute that.
I mean, science.
Just like dinosaurs,
I mean, science.
fossils, evolution.
I mean, wow. Yeah.
329. You want to pee?
All right, Kevin, you gotta hold the fort.
What am I doing?
When he goes in peace, don't ask to come on the live. So it's already live. We have one person in.
It's probably showing me. That's on YouTube, right?
Yeah. We're going on Instagram too. The ultimate goal is to carry all his followers for YouTube. We can do more stuff on live with that. Not talking to any girls after this? Not hanging out with anybody after this?
I'm actually hanging out with my sister after this.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, not really.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I want to go to the beach or something, man.
It's
like,
pretty nice out there.
Yeah.
It's a little brisk, but...
Like, I know the water would be cold.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't get in.
Oh, no, I just don't want to waste these nice days.
You're together.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Sound like a pedal?
Yeah.
All right. It's too far away. What up, everybody? Welcome to, let me turn this music off, to the dumbest smart show on the internet, Drink and Grow Rich, where I drink, answer questions. Brandon picked up the beer today, and Brandon got, you gonna grab one?
Yeah.
We got Kevin in the building today.
So what's up?
Oh, that's him in the back saying, what's up? But happy Friday, everybody. Brandon, I don't, that's why I never get this, because I don't like these ones.
I know, like, that's, yeah.
Should I have one right now? Iced coffee, boom. What's up, Molly? Molly, I saw that you reposted something on my Instagram today. BPooch13, you asked a bunch of questions that we're going to answer on the questions that was on it. But yeah, what's up, everybody? How's it going? It's Friday. Brandon just had the biggest podcast that we've had 30,000 views on YouTube. We had Zuby on. If anyone saw it, curious to know your opinion. He talked a lot over me, but he's a cool ass dude. If anyone out there, I always wonder because I can't see you guys. I always wonder if anyone else is out there giving me a cheers when I give you a cheers. But whatever you're drinking, cheers, everybody. What's up, Joel?
Are you ready for a question?
All right, Brandon, hit me.
All right, so BPooch13
Yeah,
says,
she's in here.
Says fuck, marry, kill Kamala, Michelle, or AOC.
All right, fuck, marry, kill between Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, and AOC.
Yes.
I'll probably marry Michelle Obama because I don't know, she's just classy and smart, and then I'd probably bang AOC.
Hell yeah.
She's hotter than Kamala, so I mean, don't anyone go out there saying Sean wants to kill the vice president. It's just the fact that I had three choices, so I would absolutely stab Kamala Harris to death. But I mean, I don't know. Kamala Harris, she's all right. She's one of those like politicians who just kind of says whatever she got to say. So I respect her. I respect her game, you know. But yeah, that's the answer to that one.
I like that question.
That's a good question. And that was hey, cheers, B Pooch. And that was your question. What's your name, B Pooch?
You pooch 13.
But yeah. But I like everyone.
All right, second one. John Souza.
That's one of my good friends.
All right, he said, what's your take on microdosing psychedelics for improved brain function?
Microdosing psychedelics. Apparently, the conversation on that topic has a lot of smart people. Like, I listen to a lot of like intellectual and like they say like there's these people on Joe Rogan. Like in the past, they were in the 70s and 80s and they were interested in like psychedelics and mushrooms, and they were just like these freaky weirdos, but they're like actually smart. So I've never done that. I've never like microdosed on it or whatever, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to try. I'm always down to kind of like biohack and figure out the best ways to do yourself, like spend your time. Brandon, want to know how I know you're like, Brandon lost his 50 pounds. He's crushing it in life. Mm-hmm. You want to know how I know like you're at a good place?
Wow.
Like the other day, you're like, I need to like figure out how to like block my time. Like that is when you're at the point where you're like, you're up, you're awake, you're at work, you're ready to go, you're motivated, you love what you're doing, and then you're thinking like, damn, I have so much to do. I need to prioritize and block my time. That's when you're at like a good place. That I honestly struggle with that a little bit too. I'm very productive and I know the things I need to do. I think I'm naturally a good prioritizer, but I heard that Steve Ballmer, he's worth $20 million, right? Owner of the Clippers, former Microsoft CEO. He had a schedule. He's got a calendar, and every minute, every hour is planned out throughout, like for the next, forever, every day, every single day. And it's hard because what if you have a call that goes 10 minutes over? I guess you like can't let that happen. I feel like, and I've done this before. I have set up a calendar. I literally put it on my calendar of like sales, operations, answering emails. Like I blocked out all my time, and it got thrown off because if one thing goes a little different, it takes discipline to be able to like schedule and block your time. I mean, I get everything I need to get done. All I ever do is be in like a working mindset, but it's just maximizing your productivity. And Abraham Lincoln, the quote is like, if I had an hour to chop down a tree, I spend the first 45 minutes sharpening the axe. So basically the moral of the story is he had a really dull axe. But you don't get it. Like he was saying, you got to think, okay, I have this big task to do. I could just start going to do it. But if you take those time and if you're like, I need to get it done. And you take the time to think before, even though your instincts are telling you, I just got to start. I just got to go. It takes like discipline to be able to be like, let me take 20 minutes. Let me take an hour. Let me take a whole day to plan out my next month. And then a plan is just a plan. Every football coach has a plan going into the game, but then you have to execute, you get hit, you have to change it. That is where I'm struggling with scheduling my time. It's like, I can book it all out. I'll take the first half day of Monday and plan out the whole week, hour per hour. But then when something gets knocked off, I don't know, do you need to like go drag your things at different times? Like, but then you're not supposed to be spending that time prioritizing. You're supposed to be going to the next task. So hacking your time and figuring out how to like spend your time in the best quality is always a difficult task, but that is, I think, where like smart people live, and they're trying to always figure out, because everything is about exponentializing and maximizing your time. So Steve Ballmer, that motherfucker, you know Steve Ballmer? Mm-hmm. He is, you ever see him do?
Did he get in that controversy with the Clippers over like race and stuff?
No. You're thinking of Donald Sterling.
Okay, he was before that.
You're thinking of Donald Sterling. Donald Sterling was so weird. Like, we live in a capitalist society. Like, the NBA forced him to sell his team.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and Steve Ballmer was like, I'll get it. That's why professional sports team owners are like the royalty of America, because it doesn't matter how much money you have. I mean, obviously it does matter, but it's not easy to get one. So like Steve Ballmer's like, I'll buy it, and he paid the $2 billion. And it wasn't like an investment for him. It was just like a toy, because he's worth like $20 billion. So now the owner is Steve Ballmer, and he was the former CEO. He was like Steve Jobs' second guy, or not Steve Jobs, Bill Gates' second guy And he's worth 20 billion, but he's crazy. He's like one of those guys like, ah! And I've seen him do like speeches to Microsoft, like all the employees before, and he runs out, he goes, screams, and he's like nutty. But he's worth $20 billion. And when he talked about scheduling his time like that, I was like, damn, that is something to like, okay, he's worth $20 billion and he schedules down every minute like that. It takes massive discipline. You start on Monday and then by Thursday at 3:00, you're still following that schedule. Like that is insane to be able to discipline and rock your time out like that. What are you guys saying?
Question?
No, people are saying stuff. What is the most time consuming part of that you wish you could change? It's constantly evolving. I've said this before, but the blood of the company is the revenue, and I'm in charge of the revenue. So that revolves around Facebook ads or promotions or emails, marketing. If I wake up and the revenue is not where I want it to be, that is my number one focus. If I have ads that are running great and we have a promotion going for the next 7 days and I'm pumping the ads and they're going well, then like those 7 days, if the return on ad spend is good, I can kind of chill for those 7 days a little bit as far as like, obviously not chilling, but I can focus on other things. And our problem for the past 4 years has been we have so much sales and we don't have enough production. So we have to slow down the ads. And that's the worst thing. That's why with the new building and everything, we're going to be able to pump that up. But right now we're at a good point where our sales are good. Usually March to August is like not as good as January, February, September, October, November, December, but like not as good. It's still good. And there's no excuse, So that's the number one thing. And then, that's the blood. And then if all that's going well, then I can like think a bigger picture.
Do you see Hannah Thomas's question?
What'd she say? I started a small business, but I'm not sure how to get my products out there. Places like Etsy just seem like they eat up too much profit. What's your advice? Honestly, so Hannah, what's your product? Etsy's pretty good. We used to sell on Etsy, and I have a friend who sells on Etsy. And the good thing about Etsy and like Amazon-ish a little bit is that they bring in the eyes and then you are there. If you start a Shopify site, which you should, I'm assuming you're selling a product. I don't know what you're doing, Hannah, but if you're selling a product, you need a Shopify site. That's just your own website. And that is where you sell your product. But if you launch a Shopify site, literally no one in the world knows about it. Who's gonna go there? Nobody. So it's hard to get started. It's hard to get your feet off the ground. And like the problem, like over the past year, like the podcast a little bit as it's starting, it's like, okay, I have a product or a service, but I don't even have customers to react or to give me advice or I always say the best vote of confidence you can get from your customers is not what they say. Say you put up a poll, 20% like this, 80% like this. Okay, I'll believe it when they vote with their credit cards, with their wallet. If you know that they're buying it, that is the ultimate vote. It's different than clicking yes or no on an Instagram poll if people are buying stuff. So like if you're just starting from scratch, like and I'm assuming you don't have a lot of like money to spend on marketing, but you want to build up your email list and you want to build up a couple people who are interested. Like it's hard, man. A good way to do it is like, say you're selling jewelry and you're like Hannah's Jewelry. Maybe you make another account on whatever social media called like Jewelry Love, and you post a bunch of pictures of other people's jewelry, and then you gain an audience of like jewelry lovers, and then you start like putting yourself in there. Then like you put yourself in with all the other jewelry people, then you're in the conversation, then you can like cross those audiences. You need to gather a pool of people interested in what you're doing. It's hard to do, but it takes time and stay persistent, and you have to gather them through an email list, through a social media account. That's the only places to gather people.
All right, I got a little segment.
All right, what's up?
So I'm gonna ask you a history question.
History is my favorite thing.
And if you get it wrong, you gotta chug your beer.
Okay. If I get it right, then I also have to chug my beer? By the way, this fucking iced coffee is disgusting. I'm not
Well, you
drinking.
gotta try. Whatever. All right. Do you want? All right. What's your like difficulty level?
I don't know. 8.
All right. Who first discovered America?
Americo Vespucci. Is that right?
No.
I mean, Christopher Columbus is like the basic. That'd be difficulty level 1.
I'm trusting this internet to be right.
You're trusting the internet?
They said Lee Eckerson.
Oh, okay. Leif Erikson.
Yeah.
He was a Viking. He discovered North America, like up above Canada, Iceland. He went from Europe. He charged over in his boat and he killed a bunch of like Iceland people with like axes and Viking helmets. And so he just so America's a continent with like North America, South America. So like he got there like he got there like 1300s. Leif Erikson. So if you're talking about the United States of America, that's different. But the Americas, Christopher Columbus gets a lot of credit. He deserves a lot of credit. But Leif Erikson discovered like Iceland, like in North Canada, like the place where like no one wants to live because it's like ice cold. And if you look on a map, it's all like white. That's what Leif Erikson discovered. So, okay, internet, whatever. All right, I was wrong though. Ashtray said, at what point do you know to kill an ad? Like after you spend $300, $400 and the return on ad spend is like 0.8, then you kill the ad. Like if it's like 3 days, 3 days, 1 day, like you kind of, here's the thing. If you're spending $5 a day, which most people who start, they'll spend $5 a day on like 5 different ads and test them against each other. In that case, you need to let it run like a week, 10 days. And then it takes more time. But the more money you can put in earlier, the faster you can find out how well that ad's performing. So for me, I'll put more money up front to find out. And that's like usually within a day or two, you can know.
All right, you want a question from
Yeah, I mean, this history of trivia, I love that shit.
No, question.
Oh, yeah. Question for the thing, hit me.
From here?
Yeah.
All right. All right, Sean.
What
up? Actually, I have a question.
Oh, boom.
Yeah.
Screw that.
I have a question.
Kevin's got a question. What's your question?
Everybody talks about Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, all right.
Bitcoin, right? What do you think Ethereum?
Okay, I have a good analogy for this. And I got to give a little credit to my friend Nico because we talked about this. So cryptocurrency is value. It is in Bitcoin. It's obviously, I hate the question like, what do you think about Bitcoin? Because there's only so much to say about it. It's a cryptocurrency. It's incredible. It's probably going to change the world. And fuck banks. Banks can suck my balls for making me fucking not be open on Monday, like a random fucking Columbus Day. I can't do a bank transaction. Banks suck. Everyone knows it. So, okay, so say Bitcoin is comparable to money. So other cryptocurrencies that are valuable assets, they don't have to be compared to money. So I would say Ethereum could kind of be more like oil. Oil is an asset that is not traded with like, 1 barrel. Okay, I'm going to the store to buy chicken. That'll be 0.5 barrels of oil. It's not like that. But it is a currency. It is a thing that has like a value to it and like affects markets. So Ethereum, if you like with all these NFT shit, like that's all traded in Ethereum. Mm-hmm. So like Ethereum is a little bit of a different type of asset. That's not necessarily like if Bitcoin is money, then I would say Ethereum is kind of like oil. It's a different type of asset that is valuable in a different way. And as I've liked to learn more about Bitcoin, I say, fuck all the other ones. Like, I think if we were going to move to this like crypto world, let's all just like focus on one. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking at the camera, I'm not looking at you. I'm talking to the peeps. I'm listening now. Talking to the peeps. Yes. But Ethereum can be like a little bit of something else. Like when I learned about NFTs and I don't know, like there's something there. Like even like copyright infringement, like what if we could have a design? United Monograms, we get copied all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. We are a thought leader in the monogram industry. We have a design, we go to other sites and we laugh. Not only do they steal our lifestyle photo and our product, they also steal our description. And then some sites they'll try to like, take our whole concept. Go to the site Born to Be Sassy. It's a fucking theft of United Monograms, the whole site. And they do pretty well. They now what if there was NFTs and that could tie to that, right? Like there is value in digital assets. So I'm not like an art person and I'm not that interested in NFTs, but but I'm interested in the technology of it. And like Ethereum is the world that kind of runs that.
100%.
So
Yeah.
it's not, I don't think they're like apples to apples. I think it's like kind of apples to oranges.
Right.
And I think like oil is a good analogy because oil is an asset that's always like affected the world. You know, like George Bush went in there to get oil. Like oil has like a price per barrel and it like fluctuates and it affects markets. So I think it can be Bitcoin is money, Ethereum is oil. That's what I think about it.
Awesome.
Hell yeah. All right, we're gonna get you Trump.
I listened to let me hear what this guy had to say. I listened to the podcast you were on. You said you did a cost cap like $10 and you only run ad sales on the website. How profitable is it buying $8 shirt? Good question about the cap. So when I got in trouble with the ads about, I don't know, like 3 years ago now when the business was struggling, I was the worst point of my life. I spent too much money on ads, getting revenue, not making money. So what I learned then was you can set a cost that like you literally say you're spending $1 million a day if I can get conversions at this cost. So actually, sometime if an ad is bad, I'll run it for like $300, $400. If an ad's crushing it, I'll put it up to like $5,000. And I want to put it up to $10,000 if I can still get the conversions at the same rate. But if that's not really working, but you still have a little confidence in it, you can set the ad to like $500,000 a day with a cap of $10 per conversion. And then a lot of times those ads might get 20 sales in a day at a great rate, or they won't spend a penny. And that's when you know that ad's ultimately a failure. So target, actually Facebook got rid of target costs, but cap costs are now something I still use. All right, Brandon, what is it?
History question.
History question. All right.
All right. 1 second. All right.
What is this, mango? I've been through this before. This is why I always get like the regular one. I'm always like, ooh, a Blue Moon
It was
3-pack. That's cool. So you went through the thoughts I went
It
through.
was on sale.
Brandon picked up the beer.
Yeah.
And thank you, Brandon. And I went through that so many times. I'm like, ooh, I like Blue Moon. I always get Blue Moon. This is a fancy little thing. Like, and then I'm like, wait, why would I just not get the thing I love? Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So, who invented the automobile?
Henry Ford. Right?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, 1 second.
Is there? Did you ask a question without knowing the answer? Henry Ford.
I know it's not Henry Ford.
Henry Ford invented the mass production of the automobile.
It is Carl Benz.
Is that like for Mercedes-Benz?
Yeah.
Interesting story about Henry Ford. You want to hear something interesting about Henry Ford? Henry Ford, one of the godfathers of American entrepreneurialism, he actually is responsible for the 9 to 5. Like he created the first factory, started the Industrial Revolution, shaped the schedules of everyone in modern day life. Great guy. He was actually very much like, weirdly was like very anti-Semitic. Like he was like, it's a fact. Like he was like on board with like, he was like 10 years before Hitler or whatever, but like, I don't know. That's just a weird fact about him. But the thing I was going to say was he got put on trial once, like literally in court of law. And they were asking him like these really standard questions, like who started the country, like George Washington, name the founding fathers, like, and he didn't like know the answers like that well. And people were like, this guy's an idiot, blah, blah, blah. But then he said like one of the most famous quotes in entrepreneur world. He said on the stand in court, he said, I don't know the answer, but in 10 minutes, I'll find you 50 people who know the answer. So it's basically a lesson about structure in being able to like delegate tasks, and he delegated it to the fact of information. He's smart, he's intuition, and he didn't know the answers to these like old trivia questions like Brandon's giving me, but he knew that he could get someone to get that answer right away. Like he built one of the biggest corporations. So Henry Ford's the man, except for that whole like weird, that's a Family Guy joke. It's like the Family Guy, they're like, Henry Ford, what's this? He's like, oh, it's the first Jew killing machine. And they're like, can't we just use it to drive around? He's like, no, it's a Jew killing machine. Like that's Family Guy, not me. But it's weird how he was like that. So I mean, I didn't make it up, or I didn't.
Carl Benz applied for the first patent for a vehicle powered by a gas engine. So that's why he's considered.
He's got his legacy's out there with Benz. I got to get back to the ashtray here. He said, but if you're spending $10 per acquisition and they only purchase an $18 on a shirt, then you're an $8 profit, and then you have to factor in the production cost of labor. That's a good question. Seriously. So when Facebook tracks your revenue, they actually don't factor in the shipping. So like if it's $18.95 for a shirt, the customer checks out, it's like $24.95 or with shipping. And Facebook just records that as 18. So that actually always screwed with me a little bit. But I swear they don't like track every single one. I have had to do this for feel over the years. Your logic is absolutely logical. And honestly, like a $5 return. So a cost per conversion is a cost for one conversion. That one conversion could be an order of 11 shirts. Kevin, you ship? How many are like 6 to 10 shirts? Like some, like how many do you think are 1%? All right, here's a question for you, Kevin, because I know the answer.
Yes.
What is the average quantity in an order of pieces?
I would say just under 2.
That's right. It's like 1.5, 1.6. So a conversion is $5 for an $18 shirt. But some people are that same $5 conversion, or say $10 conversion, is also the same. It's a cost per conversion. So a cost per conversion is how much it costs you to get one conversion. One conversion could be $18 shirt, or it could be a $120 order. So that's why cost per conversion is not as important as ROAS, return on ad spend. Return on ad spend is the metric that I look at first. And now, if I only have one conversion and the cost per conversion is like $20 and the return on ad spend is really good, you can't give that ad too much credit because it was only one conversion and that person happened to buy a big thing. So obviously more data. But I need my return on ad spend to be 2.5 or more to make a profit. So return on ad spend is more important than cost per conversion because cost per conversion is different amounts for each conversion. So it tells you a couple of pieces of different information, but that's a good question. Cost per conversion is not as important as return on ad spend. Return on ad spend is the ultimate metric for ads. Is that returning customers or cold traffic? Oh, damn, you've been doing your fucking study in there, the Ashtray.
What does Ashtray do?
So I don't know, Ashtray, what do you do? But I will say the standard way to run a Facebook ad is run an ad to a cold audience, and then you create a group of people who clicked on that, and that's your warm audience. Then you run an ad to them. United Monograms, we have so many conversions, and we have such a big, like, people have been on the website already. We have such a big, I only run conversion ads. And like, if someone like clicks on it and doesn't buy, like, it's still traffic. It's still a view. Like, so I only run my ads for, you can set what you want your objective of the ad to be. Do you want traffic, link clicks? Do you want engagement? Do you want conversions? Or there's even like app installs. I always run conversion ads, and it kind of like brings it all together because that's what you want, the conversion. So if you're just starting from scratch, you probably do want to run a certain ad to a cold audience, and then create an audience of people who clicked on the cold ad, and then run your sale ad to that warm audience. We do retargeting ads. That's basically that. But I love your questions on that. I'm a system administrator for a hospital. I've been binging Sean Lowry podcasts.
Wow, yeah.
I love you, Ash. You're in the lead right now, by the way.
He is on every time. Like he legit.
He must have a schedule that allows him to do it. Like Brandon mentioned about possibly. I know I've been talking about the new building for a while. Like, it's real. It's coming. I was there last night. But everyone that like follows my content will notice like immediately when like officially like I'm over there on a daily basis. And I had a point about that, but I forgot. But Brandon was talking about doing the podcast, or not the podcast, the dumbest smart show on the internet, Drink and Grow Rich, at 6:00 possibly, changing the time a little bit. I like to be consistent. We've been doing it Friday at 3:30 for a long time, but I like the idea, so we'll see. All right, Brandon, hit me with whatever else you got.
All right. We're doing from the pool of questions.
Okay.
All right. Be Pooch asked a lot.
Yeah, I love it.
Let me do someone else. Whew. Okay. Hate H. Shanks says, "How
Okay.
rich do you really want to be?"
I like the like a billion. I
I
like
got another one. Have you been on that?
yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to be a billionaire. Like I feel like everyone like who wouldn't want to be a billionaire. Yeah, like I'd love to be a billionaire. Like a millionaire is not as much. I feel like there's like a millionaire, 100 millionaire, and a billionaire. Like that's what I would like to be, a billionaire. Now, that's a pretty lofty goal. It's very hard to become a billionaire, but some people got to do it. Why can't it be me? All right.
I got another one. This is pretty cool. This is B Pooch 13.
Okay.
Yeah, this is before I asked. Did you see the Tony Robbins like course he had recently, where he had all the screens in the room?
Mm-mm.
So,
But I understand the concept.
yeah. So he asked, "Would you ever make this a Zoom event where we all can see each other and chat?"
I don't know. I like not seeing your guys' faces. Pretty sure you're all ugly. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. There's like people talking over each other and stuff like that. We could do like a clubhouse or whatever.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to ask?
That's interesting. It's an interesting thought.
Yeah. To bring their faces in. Do you want a COVID question?
Yeah, if you want to bore me to death.
Sayer_baby said, "What do you think the long-term effects on business and e-commerce after the pandemic?"
I think I was talking to my brother last night. He got laid off because of COVID.
Oh, damn.
Well, dude, that was like a year ago.
Oh, okay. I thought you got another job.
He's all right.
Okay.
He got another job, and he's doing great at it. And it's the same type of job. He like makes phone calls, sells loans, and he started this job working remotely, and he's still working remotely. And like he started a new company remotely, and the building the repertoire or the community or the camaraderie with a team, there's value there. There is. Like, so I think that this shit happened in 1920. It took a couple of years to get over it. I think everything's really going to go back to how it was before. But e-commerce, that was the way of the future before COVID. Like, would you rather put on clothes, drive to the store, get a parking spot, wait in line, grab out your card, put it in the back of your car, drive home, or have it show up on your doorstep 48 hours later? I mean, there's one of those two is a much easier answer. So, and shopping online is more efficient as far as, okay, I can go to this site and see how much it is, and I can go to the other site, see how much it is. Shopping online is obviously already a huge part of the economy and all part of like product sales and B2C sales. And it's just going to continue to be like that. It was like that before COVID. So COVID only made that more prominent, and it's not going anywhere. Malls across America are dying every single day. And I feel bad for the 13-year-old who's trying to grab a boob, because you go to the mall, it's your hangout spot. So you're going to need a new spot. But yeah, dude, it's not anything to do with COVID, the fact that e-commerce is going to take over the world. Sorry, man. IPA is greater than wheat ales. No! I hate IPAs. Brady, I was going to give you some business. Now I'm not going to give you some business anymore. And actually, this conversation is interesting. So this guy, Brady, that's in here, he does like virtual assistant stuff.
Yeah,
Tell me what you guys think about this. Like, I want to build a company, right? And we're building a company. And like, obviously, we need physical people at our company for certain jobs. Like, I've always considered like hiring someone for like Facebook ads, like digital, like advertising. Like, I like the idea of having them come into the office and talk with them. Like, but virtual assistants are like huge now, and you FaceTime with them and you have a meeting with your whole team. Like, that is a little different than like my brother's situation, because because I'm interested in the future of people building companies with virtual assistants, because part of me doesn't like it. But here's the part I do like about it. I need an employee for this job. I have a radius of 15 miles around my building where I can hire from. There's a certain pool in there that you could try to find the best person. But what if your pool is anywhere in the world? Chances are you can find a better person, probably for a cheaper amount. Apparently in the Philippines, he tells me like $4 to $8 per hour per work. I'm very like
That's the beauty.
interested in it, and I'm moving towards it a little bit. And I got an email from Brady in my inbox about helping me out with that. So, but fuck IPAs though. $48 per hour, can't beat that. I mean,
You can't beat that.
I mean, yeah, that's not a lot, especially if it's productive work. Like, so the thing about Facebook ads, like for me, it's like, see, the thing is, I want the person to understand the business. Like, we run promotions for like 2 weeks, so like, if I have an ad that's going amazing, it's got a 3.8 return on ad spend. I got like a $2,000 budget. It's making tons of money. Like, that is over in 2 weeks. Like, you have to keep the fans loyal. You have to keep the fact that that's a great promotion honorable. So like, then you got to start a new one. And like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, like, they run ads on the same product and they keep it going. They would need to understand the business and they would need to communicate with me. But if I can FaceTime with them and talk to them and they're going to run the ads, what's the difference if they come into the building? So I'm interested in it. Wheat Al's thumbs down. Fuck you, Brady. I want to make millions. Angel official. Millions is not as much as it used to be. Like, I mean, it's obviously a lot. But if I give you Angel official right now, if I gave you $1 million right now, I don't know how old you are, but would you be able to like live the rest of your life? I don't think so. Like, not like you buy a house that's like 400,000, and then like you buy food and shit, it just goes down to like 200,000. And like you have a kid who wants to go to college, and it's like it's not that much. So, but millions is good.
All right, Sean. Another history question.
All right, hit me.
All right.
I'm waiting. This is are you like a history or trivia website?
Yeah.
All right.
I knew you liked history.
I mean, I love history.
I wanted to challenge.
I like history because it's like watching the news in like a ×5 super speed. It's like.
All right. What species did Benjamin Franklin want as our national bird?
Turkey. Is that right?
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
Yeah. So you got a joke. Yeah.
Pigeon.
No.
I thought it was turkey. Black crow. I don't know. What's the answer?
This website said the answer is "Come on, it was a joke."
Dude, Google. It was turkey. I don't know. What kind of questions are you giving me?
I hate this website.
You can't just give me a trivia question where the answer is a
The
joke.
worst trivia website.
God
This
damn.
is a pretty bad website.
This is a horrible website.
I saw someone ask me the question. They said, "Do you ever get burned out?" Yeah, I have an answer to that. I don't really, but the way to like get through burnout or like a rut, or like if you're not feeling it, my answer to that is go through the motions. Like, still wake up at the same time, put on the same clothes, and sit in the same place. I don't know. Some people say like flip it up, like eat breakfast or dinner and flip it around, go and what like change. Like, I like to get through like I don't burn out. I don't like that term. Like sometimes I go through like a creative rut, or I don't know, I'm just not feeling it for a little bit, but like
You go through a rut when things are going well.
I hate when things are going well. It's so fucking annoying. But the best thing that can happen for that is a crisis. Crises are great because, like depression and suicide was like at 0% during World War II in like every country because every person knew what they needed to do. Like, if you wake up and you know what your mission is, you're not going to be depressed. You're not going to be down. You're not going to be in a rut. So like when everything's going great, it's like, well, what's my mission? Like that, like those are maybe like types of ruts I would get in. And I just continue to go through the motions, and usually like after like 3-4 days, I'll like be like, fuck, what did that Sean from 3 days ago was a pussy. And I like go through them, like just go through. There's power in that. Like, I don't know. I feel like for some people, burnout might they go on vacation or lay in bed. I don't know. For me, I just like.
Ooh,
go
let's
through the
see if you know
motions.
this one.
Okay.
All right. Who was shot outside the Hilton Hotel in Washington on March 30th, 1981?
Ronald Reagan.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah, Reagan got shot.
Nice.
He's pretty badass, and he made a joke in the room when he was with like the doctors and stuff like that. He's like, "I hope you guys aren't Democrats," and that was a funny joke because he's a Republican. But like the point was, his spirits were high and he was okay. There's nothing more badass than getting shot and like being okay. Teddy Roosevelt got shot before a speech, and then he made the speech, and then he went to the hospital. Teddy Roosevelt is the fucking legend. I love him so much. How long was you in business before you had $1 million in sales? For the year, like I think like our third year, we got to $1 million in sales.
All right. I gotta
Hit me. This is all right.
If
Go.
you get this is crazy.
Okay.
What are the names of the U.S. presidents who have been assassinated?
All right. So, Lincoln. The dude before Teddy Roosevelt was McKinley. Lincoln, McKinley, Kennedy. How many are there?
All right, I'm gonna help you out.
You can tell me how many there are.
There's one more left.
There's one more left.
Yeah.
John Tyler or something like that.
I'm gonna give you one more guess.
Presidents that got assassinated.
I don't know the correct story, but I'm acting like I do. All I remember was he got shot and he died like days later.
Oh, well, that happened to McKinley too.
Then I might be thinking of McKinley.
I don't know. Who is it?
It's the big yellow cat
Who's
who
that?
likes lasagna and pizza.
James Garfield.
There you go. Yeah.
Name my dog after Teddy Roosevelt. He's Teddy Roosevelt. That's pretty funny. Shut up, Nick 2 tripping. You shut up. But want to know what a crazy president story is? I think it was Grover Cleveland or something like that. He was president, and then he lost, and then he was president again. Like he did his 8 years as president, but there was someone in between him. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, it's America.
That's what Trump's talking about. I don't know. It's kind of actually been really nice not having Trump be president in a way. Like I feel like everyone has gotten smarter. That's one of the things I've been thinking about lately. Like I feel like everyone is like smart. Like I don't know. I feel like in the past like couple of months, ever since Trump has been gone, like it's been calmer, right? It's been like chiller, and the things that are rising to the top of people's minds are like Bitcoin, NFT, Clubhouse, intelligent conversations, CRISPR. I don't know. I feel like people now have more brain space to concern about more intellectual, bigger picture things. And I mean, I like Trump, but like he was taking up too much brain space in the average American, and it was kind of annoying. And like that's one of the positives of him not being on Twitter. And I kind of like it a little bit. And I don't know. It's weird. I actually kind of like Joe Biden. I don't know. Like I don't have anything bad to say about him, and he is just doing nothing. and I mean that's kind of good, right? Isn't that what you want from your government? Just to shut the fuck up and like sit over there and like if there's a big problem, like help out with that. Like just be logical. Like shut up. Like that is kind of refreshing, and I feel like the country is like refocusing and like becoming a little smarter. I feel like the average person knows about stuff. Like, I think my mom probably knows what Bitcoin is. I don't know. I'd have to ask her. But like, I just feel like if 2 years ago, if you asked someone the Bitcoin, it's like, what is Bitcoin? Like, what is that? What, like, I don't know. I feel like now there's more brain space in people's brains for them to be like, all right, let me think about that. Let me think about that. And that is kind of refreshing and nice. So, honestly, like, I don't know. I like Joe Biden. I don't got a problem with him. He didn't do the $15 an hour minimum wage thing. He didn't put AOC on his like board or his like he.
Yeah, they kept thinking he was going to cancel all student debt.
He didn't do that, which
he was like, I'll do 2,000.
The craziest thing about canceling
went from like 20,000.
Canceling student debt like doesn't make any sense though, because it's like, my first thought is like, what if someone just paid yesterday
Yeah.
and then the news comes out? They're like,
Fuck.
motherfucker, like I just paid it off. Like it doesn't make any sense to cancel student debt. Like the banks loan the
Well, it's not
money.
like the people are gonna get their money back.
Who?
Like the people, the loan people.
They're gonna get their money back.
I mean,
They're federally guaranteed loans. Like so that keeps banks and businesses. And like I hate banks, but like they do serve a purpose in the modern world. You can't cancel student debt. You can. Like, Michelle may have zero debts, but like she does have like a $12,000 student debt, and like she's always like, yeah, I don't know. They gave me like a 6-month like thing where I don't have to pay it.
yeah.
Like it just keeps pushing it back. Like, but like, dude, if you have money and you have like a little student debt, just pay that shit. Like, just pay the student debt. Like, and what needs to change is that the federal government shouldn't back that loan, because then the universities will lower their rates and make it reasonable. Like, I think a semester of college should cost like $6,000, and then like room and board should cost as much as the light bill costs, and you know, like you factor the cost of the food, the cost of the lights, the cost of like the building. It's just like any other business, and then like a little bit of profit margin on top for like the college that is a per person rate. It's just like a hotel or just like any other business. Like, yes, they should make money a little bit, but it should be whatever the cost of the market is. And then if people go to other places who are offering better deals, then that capitalism should affect the rates of universities. And it should be like $6,000 for a semester, then like maybe like $4,000 for room and board. I mean, that's a lot. That's $10,000 for a semester. But right now it's like 70,000, 80,000. And people are like, yeah, okay, I'll sign up for it. I'll get a loan. And then like the schools are like, yeah, we're going to charge whatever. Because if you don't pay, the government backs it. So like, just take out that backing. Let the banks fail. If the banks give bad loans and the people can't pay it back, those people credit scores should get fucked. But also the bank doesn't get their money back. So they'll stop doing it. Therefore, lowering the rate from the universities. So like, just let the free market take over the cost of the universities. I think college is a valuable experience. And, but you can't eliminate the debt that's already been accrued. It just doesn't make any sense, really.
I got a question, John.
Yeah.
What's your opinion? Are you ready?
Yeah. Hit me.
All right, Sean. What's your opinion on the vaccines being allowed to people who are obese come next week?
Well,
I can get it
you gotta take care of the fatties.
I can get it next
No,
week
I've seen people who are like,
because I'm fat.
well, Brandon, you're less fat than you used to be.
It's a good time to be fat.
You're less fat than you used to be, but yeah, I like how we got to take care of the unhealthy people first. So I support it. But also, like,
Take care of the fat.
here's what I'm trying to do with the vaccine. I don't necessarily want to take it, but I analogize this to, I don't lock my door like at home. But if everyone else in the neighborhood locks their door, robbers aren't going to go to that community because like they know your door's locked. I don't want to lock it because it's too much work to like when I get to the door to like unlock it. So like no one's going to rob the community because they think the doors are locked. So it's the same thing with the vaccine. If everyone else has it and everyone else gets it, then I can like sneak through and not get it. And the main reason I don't want to get it is because like I got to go to the store or something like that. Like I'm busy. Like I don't want to go to like the store. So I want other people to get it selfishly. And who should we give it to first? It's a good question. One of my favorite movies ever, and my friend Hacker always makes fun of me, is the movie 2012. Amazing movie. And one of the things I like about it is the world's ending and they have these like ships and they're going to decide who lives on. And one guy's like, it should be a lottery. And the other guy's like, well, no, you should be like the people who can buy in. Or I don't know. The other guy's like, it should be, it's the people who should buy in, which whoever has money, I guess, which doesn't necessarily correlate to like being smart, but a lot of times it does. But it's like, okay, lottery, or should we like bring in like the smartest people? It's not directly related, but with a vaccine, it's like, who should get it? Who should get it? And it should be the nurses first. I think the way we're doing it is like the best way to do it. And then like unhealthy people, they should probably get it next because they're the people who are at risk. Like the government's job is like not let people die. And like, I like that. And like, so the people who have the biggest risk, give it to them. I like Bill Burr. Like he's always like, there's too many people. He said we should nuke a few cruise ships, just kill a few people, more space for the rest of us. Like he's just joking, but are you gonna get it, Brandon?
I'm gonna take a full day to really like think hard on it.
What when you're taking a full day to think about it, what are you gonna be thinking about?
The long-term effects.
So Zuby, I just had my biggest podcast ever, 30,000 views on YouTube with this guy Zuby. He said he'll never take it. And I said to him, I'm like, well, dude,
the problem is
vaccines
force people.
Vaccines solved polio. You know how big of a problem polio was in the 50s? You ever see like a little boy, like 8 years old on like crutches in like the 50s? Tiny Tim. Pretty sure Tiny Tim from the Christmas Story, pretty sure Tiny Tim like has polio in that story. Like 1950s and before, polio was a terrible disease. And there was a vaccine. And now there's no more polio.
Is this someone from South Park have polio? What's that dude's kid?
Oh God, Timmy. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he has polio or whatever. But
That's what I was thinking.
but now nobody has polio. Nobody has polio. Nobody. So the vaccine was very good in that sense, right? Like I would if someone was right here and they said, "You want to take the vaccine?" I was like, "You're right here." I'd be like, all right, give it to Brandon or Kevin. But like, I'd be fine. Like, vaccines are a good thing. They've like helped create the modern world. I just don't want to go to the store. Ashtray said he took it. He was in the army, and there's no telling what they gave me. So fuck it. What's another shot? Yeah, in the military, they give shots to everyone.
Well, at least I think they care about their military people, so it must be.
But like the guy, I do kind of like trust the government in a way, and like they're not going to give those shots to their soldiers if it's going to fucking kill them. Like that, what kind of defense would that be? Yeah. All right, let's take all our soldiers and inject them with a deadly poison that'll slowly kill them. Then we'll have no soldiers. Oh, brilliant fucking idea. No, they're giving them the vaccines because they're going into foreign lands and like they don't have to worry about them all getting sick. Like vaccines are a good thing. I mean, come on. So when you're thinking about it for a day.
But like before I like schedule my appointment.
But Zuby said, did you ever hear about all the people who died from the polio vaccine? Yeah. And I said, no. He's like, there was. He said, did you hear all the people that died from the COVID vaccine? I said, no.
I heard one story.
He's like, of course you didn't hear him. And I was like, that's a little conspiracy theory-ish.
There was someone on YouTube said that, like, he's like, who are these people with these like aluminum foil hats on?
Yeah. No, Zuby is very much like right-wing conspiracy. He's smart. He's Oxford graduated. He's intelligent. And the thing I like about him the most is his like ability to have strength when society would be pulling against him. Like he sticks to his point regardless of the pressure on him. And there's a lot of power in that. It's silly to think that men and women can compete in weightlifting. I didn't create biology. It's not fucking my fault. It's not Zuby's fault. But you want to put a girl at middle linebacker or running back, she's going to die. Like, it's not my fault. It's just biology. And women are an amazing part of society. So men and women are different, though.
I told my brother about Zuby, and he said he hates him already. And he's like, I would tell him like how there's more than two genders.
So what's your opinion on that?
Oh, I think there's only two genders.
I mean, there are. Okay, so gender is a little bit of a spectrum, like a little bit. Like there's some masculine women and feminine men.
What's the definition of gender then? Like,
well, dick or vagina.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I mean, like if a gay man has sex with a lesbian woman enough times or whatever, they would have a kid. That's how biology works. And I don't know. Like I think gay's a thing. Like that was actually something interesting Zuby was talking about, was like how Kanye was kind of ahead of that. Imagine how much in the past 10 years society has shifted on accepting of being gay. Like, I just can't imagine being gay and then everyone telling me it's wrong. And I'm like, no, it's not wrong. This is how I am. And there's enough, from a scientific standpoint, there's enough history and enough standard. Okay, fucking Tim Cook, he's gay. Like, there's so many regular, like, it's not a weird thing. It is a...
Who's the politician?
Buttigieg, like a very successful guy. Some people are gay, and that's fine. And like, why ruin? Like, let them do whatever they want. Like, it does suck that you can't like recreate, but I don't know. There's straight people who can't recreate, like Monica and Chandler on Friends, you know. But are there any conspiracy theories you believe or interested in? I'm not really a conspiracy theory guy. There's usually if there's a conspiracy theory, it means there's like some stretch of the imagination. I don't believe in aliens really. Like now, some people would say to that, you're so closed-minded and ignorant to believe that in this giant solar system, the only life exists on this one planet. And that's what I used to think, and I agree, but like, I just need some evidence. I just need some evidence to believe it. And if there's evidence, I'll be like, ooh, right there's evidence. I think we're the aliens. I think we're the most advanced species in the universe. And eventually we will be the ones showing up to like little tiny, I don't know, I guess that would mean that there's aliens. I just don't think, I think human beings are the most intelligent species in the universe. And I have no reason not to believe that. The only reason I wouldn't believe that would be just wild speculation. And I don't wildly speculate. I like facts. I like things that can be proven. And sometimes there's like an intellectual conversation about something that can be proven. No, I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but some conspiracies are real. What's like a real conspiracy? Like it turned out to be real. See, I think a lot of the times what happens, like 9/11. All right, 9/11. I think 9/11 was a bunch of fucking pissed off terrorists. But I think, I think then right away, some people started to take advantage of it. Like a politician say, never waste a good crisis. So like, I think the people noticed right away that there was this crisis, and then they started to like inject their agenda in it like right away and almost like at the roots of it. But they didn't plan on doing that like the day before. But I don't know. 9/11 is weird. But no, I'm not a big conspiracy guy.
Who's going to be the winner?
Let's keep going for a little bit. Is there some more questions on the
Yeah.
on the thing? Ashtray's the winner right now.
B Pooch really put the work in.
Yeah, I feel like she has some more.
All right.
Someone can come steal this $50. Anyone who has a good question.
Kevin, you got another question?
Actually, quick question, Sean.
All right.
As a business owner,
Yeah.
how do you feel about the potential of a $15 an hour minimum wage?
I'm cool with it. Like, I'd never start anyone lower than like 12 or 13. So it's just a couple more bucks.
But I mean, is it justified, or do you think it should be in specific regions?
Yes, it should definitely be in specific. It shouldn't be federal.
Right,
it should be in
right.
specific regions. It should be based on the economy of the area.
Certainly.
So I think that's like the basic comeback to it. And also the thing is, like, if you set a $15 an hour minimum wage, who can afford that? People with a lot of money. Therefore, you're putting like the small business out of work.
Exactly.
I don't like that. I cannot imagine hiring someone for like $6, $7, $8 an hour. Like I wouldn't like trust them. Like I guess if like there's a huge fall in the economy and that's the going rate, like. But
But there's a ton of businesses that hire all day long at $10, $12 an
Yeah,
hour, and that's what they
right.
do.
And the other thing is like,
I mean, is that just going to destroy those businesses?
I mean, if you have enough employees and that $5 an hour per hour affects your bottom line, like, yeah, like, McDonald's is already thinking about like the digital ordering where you go up to the screen. So they'll replace you with like, it sounds good. It does really sound good. Like it's a minimum wage, but like, do you fucking trust the dollar and inflation?
No.
Like it's just let the market pan it out. And maybe, so like where would be a case where like you're paying someone $4 an hour and they're like a slave to you because they can only work there. They can get another job. Like Amazon, Whole Foods, like they are doing $15 an hour minimum wage.
Chick-fil-A does like crazy amount.
Now when Amazon gave $15 an hour to all their employees, they also took away all stock options.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
like so they were like nifty that a little bit. But
and if this happens, our company's gonna outsource.
Yeah, they'll outsource. Well, I mean,
because
VAs.
it's cheaper.
Yeah, virtual assistants. We're already talking about
exactly.
virtual. Like, it will allow companies to innovate to not need that person,
Right.
which doesn't help the person.
Right.
And it's also shitty because, like, a 16-year-old who's just starting off and hustling now is like this floor where like he's almost making as much as like a teacher, like,
Right.
and that's like not fair.
Right.
And like, what's the maximum wage like per hour? I don't know, per hour. It's like it's just it's
It
a
gets tricky.
it's virtue signaling. It's more about like saying it's the right thing without like actually practically thinking about it. And now if you live in a town and there's no businesses within 300 miles except for this one company, it's the only place that'll give you a job, and they're paying you $5 an hour. Like, first of all, move. Like, it's not that hard to move. It might be if it's, like, it's just not. So what would happen in that case is another company would move into that town and hire for $6 an hour because they know in this community, I can get away with lower wages. So it's just like capitalism will always fix the problems. And like, you think like, well, all the rich people are going to get together and like, no, they're competing with each other. Like they're not going, like it's the company that's paying $4 an hour to the place with no people within a 300-mile radius, no other options. And the other company comes in, they're going to be like, come on, man, just do like $4.50. Then they'll be like, all right. And they'll be like, all right, well, I'm going to do $5. All right, I'll do $5.50. All right, I'm doing $15. Like, and then they get everyone in the town. Like, just let the market figure it out. Let like free people figure it out. And
I got a question.
Go for it.
What do you feel about the 4-day work week?
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Are you talking about a 4-hour work week?
4 days.
Tim Ferriss?
No, the 4 days.
That disgusts me.
You work Monday through Thursday.
I'm already disgusted by the 5-hour work. Oh, you're talking about 4 10s?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. It's hard for me to like talk in that language, to be honest.
I think that's kind of huge in Europe in some places.
Yeah. It's like they didn't get as much done. Like,
I mean, there's something there maybe, but like, I don't know, for like our business, like, the extra day is like more stuff, shipments coming in, and like it helps like spread stuff out. But that's just my specific business. Like, I don't know. Sure, whatever. I mean, the company decided whether they do that or not. Like, it's interesting. I don't know if the productivity is the same. They say that no matter how energetic, how smart you are, the human brain can only do creative work for like 4 hours a day or something like that. And I always say, yeah, that's probably true. But what about the non-creative work? Like, I can stay up all night like a zombie and print shirts. So depending on the job situation, it's the same amount of hours. Yeah, all right. But like, as far as spreading out the average person's week, I don't know. Like, what are you going to do with that extra day off? I feel like it's almost more healthy to like have something to do. Like if you win the lottery, you have all the time in the world. Most people end up going broke again. Most people end up being sad. Like a human body, we've been evolutionarily wired to have stuff to do. Now, if your stuff to do is drinking and trying to bang girls, like that's good. But then like that'll like, kind of wear your body down a little bit. And that's a game. Like you're getting the mental satisfaction of having an activity to do at all times. But that'll wear down your body. So then a job will have the physical activity that you need, or the mental activity that you need to like stay healthy. And then on the weekends you can kind of like fuck your body up a little bit. And 5 and 2 I like, but there's probably places for that. Success story. Sean told me to stop being a pussy. I got my first demo next week to close a first deal. Made it to the league. Yeah, Meech. Like, what do you mean you got your first demo next week? Okay, I think I know what you mean. You're selling something and you have to give a demo, and that's like part of the sales process. Made it to the league, baby. Yeah, don't be a pussy. Just fucking close them. That was like, the type of sales that I do is so different than like the type of sales where like you're talking to someone. I don't ever have to talk to my customers. I communicate with them on like a larger level. I guess we talk to them on like live at lunch, but still a larger level.
Are you ready for another history question?
Hit me.
All right. When did World War I officially end?
1918. 1919. 1919 or
You said
1918?
18.
18,
Oh, you got one
yeah.
more.
1914, 1918.
All right.
That was like not that fun of a war.
All right. I mean, you just talked about it. Let's see if you know it. Who orchestrated a terrorist attack on the United States on September 11th?
George Bush.
What was the terrorist place called?
Fucking the Taliban or whatever.
Al Qaeda. Drink.
That's like a
We
Middle
haven't
East.
said that word in a long
It's a Middle
time.
Eastern political question. I don't really know.
Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, I haven't said that word in a while.
The Middle East is like just fucking like whatever. Just deal with your fucking shit, dude. When are you officially moving to the new office? The date that we set from the day one was March 15th.
10 days.
And that's 10 days from now. I'm thinking it's gonna be probably a little later than that. But I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna that's like I don't want to like move it over to the new building and like keep our same processes. We're gonna be changing a lot of processes. So like it's gonna probably before April. I don't know.
Are you gonna throw a party?
That'd be cool to have like a black tie event.
Ooh, that would be
Fancy.
cool.
Like a ribbon cutting ceremony, black tie event style thing. I don't know, maybe. There's a lot like when I think about the building, my head starts to swirl because like I got an electrician, I got a door guy, I got these machines getting delivered, I got the floor, I got the HVAC guy, I got the flying locksmith. Like I got a bunch of like that's like a separate part of my brain that's like figuring that out right now. And I just we're I don't want to access that part of my brain right now, to be honest.
Drink.
Was there any more other questions from that?
Yeah.
Yeah, hit me with some of those.
All right. Like I said, a lot of them will be pooch.
Whatever.
All right. I mean, all right. You want like a big question?
Just whatever. Pick
All
one.
right. Pick your top 3 American history moments.
Ooh.
This is B Pooch 13.
Ooh, that's actually really good. That's really good. Because, oh man, top 3 American history moments.
You can't use Jesse Smollett.
That's my favorite
He
story.
loves it.
That's one of my favorite stories of all time. I mean, like I could go basic and say like Revolutionary War, Civil War, World War II. I'm gonna say I'm trying to go in chronological order here. I mean, my answer would probably be the Revolutionary War, and then the Civil War, and then World War II. 1, we started. 2, we stayed together. 3, we conquered, and like became powerhouses. But I'm gonna try to be more nifty with my answer. Let's say 1 is the invention of the automobile. Imagine the difference between a horse who's shitting on the street and making it smell and a car, how much better the quality of life got at that point when that transition. So I'm going to say 1, the transition of horse to automobile. 2 is, I don't know, man. Let's say there was this time where there's the guy who, what's the name of the guy who like makes the lines in the country, like a census person, a census collector, information collector. They went out to California and Oregon in the corners, and they're like, we got it all. We conquered the whole thing. There's no more. So number 2 is when we officially were Americans from Maine to Sacramento, from Seattle to the Florida Keys. Like the second that we conquered the entire continent was number 2. And number 3 is the invention of the internet. Because the internet is obviously changing the fucking world. It's one thing I like that Gary Vee always says is very true. It's like the internet is still in its infancy. It's still a baby. My whole life is run on the internet. Everything. And even I'd like to say I started by like matching with Shelby on Tinder. That wasn't true, but like everything else after that, like my whole business, internet. This, internet. Everything, internet. Everywhere I like hired a new employee was through some job that I put on the internet. The internet is everything. It's everything. The internet is everything. And it's still in its infancy. Like that's why like the blockchain is so interesting and like the places where it could go. Like actually, for United Monograms, we're looking to possibly build like another boutique brand. We're thinking about a name. Look at domain names. A lot of domain names are taken now. So there's like .co's and .nets, and like the website for my podcast is SeanLowry.show. So it's like it's maturing, it's growing up. But American history and world history, the internet is it'll be a chapter in every history book of all for like. If from the time humans existed to whenever humans die off, or maybe we don't, if there's just one chapter, I think the one chapter will be the internet. That's everything. Like irrigation systems were important, and then like cars, and then like learning like internet will be the one chapter in human history, because that is also the transition between us being humans to us being cyborgs. And we seem to have this like natural proclivity as humans towards technology. And technology is nothing without the connection of the internet. So like the internet is not even a thing. It's life itself in a way. So internet is number 3.
On that, Sean.
Yeah.
So Elon Musk is gonna eventually come out with the chip that's gonna implant in your
yeah.
brain. Are you gonna get one of these chips?
Fuck yeah,
so
I'll get
you can
it.
just interface.
Hell
with,
yeah, I'll
like,
get it. I'll get
the
it.
entire world.
I'll get it.
Immediately.
I'll get it. I mean, I am a fucking sucker for convenience. Like, honestly, I don't even need my wallet anymore except for 2 things. Fucking Harris Teeter doesn't take Apple Pay. Those fucking scumbags.
Fuck Harris
No,
Teeter.
fuck Harris Teeter. They're the biggest.
How can they not take?
They're the
Apple
biggest.
Pay?
They're the biggest grocery store in the area.
Yeah.
Great, pretty good grocery store.
Yeah.
They don't fucking take Apple Pay. So beside for Harris Teeter, I don't need my credit cards. And then, so fuck you, Harris Teeter, if you're watching. And then my ID. You know, the government's behind. Like, obviously, you shouldn't have to need your ID. Like, you know, if you get a beer or whatever, like, you don't need your ID as much as you need your cards. So, like, if it weren't for the Harris Teeter and me getting a beer at dinner, then I wouldn't need a wallet. What's the question?
Are you gonna get a chip in your
So,
brain?
So what would it do for me? Like, I could obviously check out at stores.
Like,
Like,
can run Facebook ads by thinking.
see that I don't run Facebook ads by thinking. Like, Facebook ads be
Or it can connect with
Brains-
the computer and not
brains-
use a mouse.
okay. Connect with the computer, not use a mouse. That's much better. I have to see it to like believe it, and like it's like, you know, sometimes you like think shit you don't want to think. It's like I don't know, like
Where does it stop? Right.
yeah, right. Where does it stop? Like
I mean, how many?
like mouse up,
come
mouse.
out? How many thoughts are like?
Yeah,
not
then
come
like a mouse runs through the floor, and I'm like, oh, mouse
out?
down, and like the mouse goes down. Like, how does it? There has to be some type of language between like waves between brain cells that are firing on neurons, and like the moving of a mouse, or like the happening of a thing in the physical world. There has to be some type of language between those 2 things. And once I understand that language, I'm in. And as far as like telecommunicating, I don't really get that, because like right now I'm thinking, oh my God, I hate Brandon so fucking much. And I don't want him to hear me think that. But what if I want to tell him something like, hey, Brandon, get me a beer? I'm joking, Brandon. But like, honestly, you're with your friend and his mom walks in, and you're thinking like, damn, I would bang that. I would bang her.
Yeah.
She's so hot. Like, you don't want your friend to hear that, or like, so like, where is like the line of like deciding what is the output and what is like the brain? I don't want to get rid of human brains. I mean, that's the iRobot with Will Smith. That's like the thing. Eventually, humans are so stupid. No, but like, humans are the most immaculate machine, because we are productivity. We are productive, but like we aren't like perfectly like that. And that's what makes us humans. I want humans to exist forever. I already said I think we're the greatest species in the history of the universe, and I believe that. And I don't want the future to take away any humanity. Like, I was listening to this podcast with Tim Ferriss last night, and he was talking about CRISPR, which is basically designer babies, which means like, okay, I want my kid to have blue eyes. You can pick that. Where does that end? I want my kid to be 6'8". Okay, then your brother's like, well, I want my kid to be 6'10". All of a sudden, you got these giant giant cyborgs. I don't know. They're still humans. Like, I'm down for all the shit. Chips, designer babies. Just don't take away the humanity of humans, the flaws, the creativity that goes along with that.
Like, isn't that going to
That's
automatically
like
after you start that process?
right. Like if you program the AI to be productivity only, then yes, humans will eventually get eliminated because humans aren't productive. We sleep. How much of a fucking waste of time is that? Like, I bet you could create a charger that's like, like there's for my Tesla, there's a charger in the garage, and then there's a supercharger. It does it much faster. Like, I bet you eventually you'll be able to like charge the Tesla in like a minute. Like, but humans, we always need those 6 to 8 hours. Like, maybe we could evolve over the next 200,000 years to only need 4 or 5. Like, humans gotta sleep, and like, I don't know, man. That's just how it's not. We're just humans. Like, I'd love to eliminate sleep. Don't get me wrong, but like, yeah, I don't. But sleep is part of humanity, and like, I don't want to take away humanity. And if we eliminate ourselves as a species, we're idiots. We're fucking idiots if we eliminate ourselves as a species. So let's use it to advance humanity and maybe adjust humanity, but don't get rid of humanity. Humans are flawed. Humans are sporadic. Humans are creative. Humans are intellectual. Humans make mistakes. Humans make genius ideas. Like, the science of a human brain still can't be explained down to a perfect T. And that's what makes us humans. We're unexplainable. And that is like everything that matters. Like, a robotic world is not as exciting as a human world. So I'm down for all that shit. I'll put a chip in my brain as long as the objective is advancing humanity, not eliminating humanity.
Baby girl doing things says, "Are you Illuminati?"
No.
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 Mm-mm. I don't even know what that is. All right, let's do like one more. Hit me with like 3 more trivia questions, Brandon.
All right. History or history?
I don't know. Just fucking hit me with some trivia.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, history is great.
So,
Why did I open this one? I still have this one.
which former prime minister of India was assassinated in 1991?
No idea. I don't know any Indian politicians ever or current.
That's a tough one.
India's a weird country. They like name an Indian person.
Gandhi?
Although
Gandhi.
that's a kind of popular one.
Gandhi. Okay.
Yeah.
Besides Gandhi, name one person from India ever, past, present, future.
Yeah.
Like, India's and they have 1 billion Indians, so it's like I feel like they do pretty good at like keeping to themselves, which is like, but no one looks at them as like a military or like a threat like China.
Deepak Chopra
Is he Indian? I feel like he's American.
and his hot daughter.
He has a hot daughter.
Yes, he does. Oh, hot daughter.
What's up, J Buck?
What was the first capital of the United States?
Like a city?
Yeah.
Probably Philadelphia.
And drink.
Boston.
And drink.
General area.
Springfield.
I'm from New York.
New York. I actually knew that.
All right, which river did George Washington famously cross in 1776?
Delaware.
All right.
George
All right.
Washington. He killed him on Christmas.
Which president created the interstate highway system?
Eisenhower.
Oh my God.
Hit me. Come on, hit me.
How many presidents died in office, including assassination? Died and also they were assassinated.
6.
8. What was the longest battle in World War II?
The longest battle of World War II? Probably Battle of Britain.
Say no.
The longest battle of World War II. All right, I know the battles of World War II. Like,
I'm gonna give you a hint.
yeah, give me a hint. What continent was it on?
It's not on a continent.
Oh, so it was in the Pacific, probably, right? Was it in the ocean?
It's an ocean, but not Pacific.
That was the only place battles existed in World War II. Was
It's
in
the
the Pacific.
Battle of the Atlantic.
Battle of the Atlantic?
So it's
Interesting.
There was like they did a lot of
No one
stuff
ever
with-
talks about the
I've
battles.
never heard of that.
So it's like that would involve the German U-boats.
Yeah, it wasn't like battling. They were just like always.
I feel like it was like we're not fighting here,
Yeah.
so like let's both kind of agree to not fight, but let's like send people out there to like
And make sure
agree
there
we're
were
not
boats
fighting.
coming through.
There was no major battles in the Atlantic.
They just had to patrol the whole.
Well, because like we kind of controlled the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Like they sent people on ships from America over to Britain to like get over there for D-Day, but the U-boats were like fucking around, like killing like one boat here and there. Like apparently, in the Charleston Harbor there was German U-boats during World War II.
All right, I got this one, and if you know about this and you can like talk about it, that'd be crazy.
All right,
What's the best-selling novel of all time?
novel.
Of all time.
Well, I would consider the Bible a novel.
But it wasn't. You can't. Like, they do sell the Bible, but
Well, yeah. The Bible's the number one best-selling book of all time.
well, this is novel.
Novel. The number one best-selling. So a novel is like a story with characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
I
that's
mean,
a very hard question.
is it an American author?
It is.
I would not think so.
He's not American.
I would not think so.
Yes.
Well, what I know, I guess, is it common knowledge or is it like impossible? I don't know, you probably don't know the answer to that. I don't know.
Don Quixote.
Don Quixote?
Yeah.
He's like Mexican.
Yeah.
Did you read that? Do you know anything
No,
about
I don't know anything about that.
That's what I'm saying.
I heard
If
of
you-
it, but
I know Don
Yeah, that's
Quixote.
crazy.
Is Don Quixote Mexican?
yeah.
That's crazy. A Mexican wrote the best-selling book of all time.
That's what this site said.
What's the book name?
That's what it's called.
Anki.
Oh, it was called. Okay, so he didn't write it. It was about him. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
This whole internet, it's not maturing that much.
Yeah.
All right, yo, J-Buck, if you hit me with a question, maybe you can win the $50. You're,
Oh, J-Bucks in here?
yeah. By the way, I know it's JB UK Music,
We just always say.
but I call you J-Buck.
That's how Americans do. We should.
Damn, $4.50. I'm giving anyone else a chance to steal.
$50.
Who did we say before? It was
J Pooch 13.
No,
Ashtray.
Ashtray.
yeah, Ashtray. If you're still there, you win.
Ashtray is
If
always in there.
not, Kevin wins. Ash, because the chip in the head. The chip in the head. I like that question.
Ashtray, if you don't freaking come back.
5,
4.
4,
You got one video.
3,
You have them up?
2. Ashtray. Fuck you. Oh, he did just say boom, but it was after I put the middle finger up.
Dang.
All right, Ashtray. All right, Kevin and Ashtray both asked one more question.
All right. Both ask one question. Sean has to like it.
All right.
Go ahead, Ashtray.
J-Buck said like asking Google randomly. LOL. I don't know what that means.
All right, Kevin.
Kevin, what you got? Hit me with something good. You had some good ones. You had some good
Ashtray
ones.
first. Ashtray first.
Ashtray, you go first. Ashtray, and you have until 4:53 to have the question show up on my screen. J-Buck, what's it like to be British? It seems like such a interesting thing. And J-Buck, I follow you. I feel like
That place is so small. Does he like live right by Zuby? Like
it's not that small.
You can so.
It's a big fucking country, dude.
I know.
No, I bet you J-Buck doesn't like Zuby. Because I don't know, I feel like J-Buck's a little more liberal, Zuby's like more conservative. Okay, so the Ashtray said 2 words, largest empire question mark. Okay. That's not your best question, Ashtray. And then he said, no, that in his defense, he did say in Bistory. Well, that's not really like a question. That's like the Roman Empire was the largest,
I mean, isn't that just history?
and then America second. And we can't make the same mistakes. You want to know the mistakes that the fucking Romans made? They didn't have the internet, and they were too obsessed. They were too obsessed with power, and politicians got too much power. And then like they tried to hold on, but then they did create the Senate and shit. That was genius. They're a great civilization, the Romans. Great. They had such a long run, like, but it ended. Like, I don't hope America doesn't end. Thought we was doing history. What the fuck? Ashtray, I love you, but let's see what Kevin's got.
All right, Kevin, you got something.
FTW for the win.
All right.
You had some good ones already.
Yeah, I did, but now I'm drawing a blank.
Just think like go to a whole different part of your brain. Like
whole different part of my
just I don't know, it doesn't have to be a Bitcoin or chips in your head or it's like something completely different. Something about relationships, something about anything like sports, anything. Like just something, I don't know. You can ask whatever you want. I'm just trying to help you out. Asher said Kevin ain't got dick.
Oh, well. I don't know if that's
Competition,
true.
baby.
I haven't got lots of dick, but
Oh, Kevin's got lots of dick, he said.
for a little guy anyway. Anyway, all right, Sean. Slight history. Do you have any interest in any like Greek gods or any like Zeus or like Apollo or like any shit like that? Do you think any of that exists?
All right, let me lead this with a thought. I was with my friend Nico over the weekend. We were talking about some deep stuff, and we were talking about how in like the 1400s there was this king. This relates, trust me. There was this king, and he was about to send this motherfucking jester, some dude who was like talking shit on him. He was about to send him to his death, and then the guy comes up to him and says, "Hey, king, I am like a spiritual god. If I die, you die. And if I'm treated well, you'll be treated well." Like a voodoo doll type of shit. And this king believed him. And the king let him live in luxury. And the king died before him. So like, I don't blame that king, right? Because imagine waking up every day in the world and looking up and seeing clouds and seeing the moon and seeing the sun and not be able to understand what the fuck it is. Like we have the luxury of being told in like second grade about precipitation between the water and the clouds. Like it's a scientific thing. Like we know about the ozone layer, we know about the solar system. We don't know about forever and ever. But like, I don't blame that king for thinking that thought. He's like probably like, all right, guy's saying this. Like I might as well treat him like a king. So just in case he's right, because they had very little things to hang their hats on. They very much had to in the past go on like they thought the world was flat. That's a very logical thought back then. Honestly, why wouldn't you fucking think the world is flat? Why wouldn't you? They did. So like Greek gods are like, they just needed a fucking, they're a parent. They're 38, which was probably like a grandparent at that time. They're a parent. They're 16, 18. And their kid's like, Mom, why is it raining? And they're like, it's the gods, dude. I don't know. It's some fucking Zeus. And then they're like, well, why is there a thunderstorm? And they're like, it's fucking Athena or whatever. They're like, why do we have no money? It's like, it's the god of banks or whatever. Like, they just didn't have any explanations for stuff. So in order for society to function, they had to create this shit. They had to make shit up so average people could get on with their day. And so no, I don't believe in it. I don't think Zeus is real. Who else? There's Zeus, Athena, Medusa, the snake.
Oh, man.
Like and then like Hermes. Hermes was like that's like Zeus's daughter. It's there's a difference between like I think Jesus was probably a real person that lived on the planet because that timeline was like only 2021 years ago, and I think he was like a political activist in my opinion. I think Jesus was like a political activist who was the greatest personal brander of all time. I think he found like a political market, stuck his nose in there, boom. And then he told all the people that weren't as advanced as him to be like, the son of God, motherfuckers. And they're like, damn, all right. And then he got a concussion for 3 days. And like, and then he woke up. But like, people need explanations for why things are happening. And I think the ancient Greeks did it differently. They just had like a god of snow, a god of ice, a god of water, a god of sun. And like, if it's sunny, they want, I want to bed to bed saying, oh, I wish it's going to be sunny tomorrow. I wish it's going to be sunny tomorrow. And like, they pray to the god of sun or whatever. It's the same thing as me going to bed saying, I wish it was going to be sunny tomorrow. Of course, like, so I just think that Greek gods are explanations for average people, BC, to be able to understand the world around them. And like, it's funny how they made it like a bunch of different gods, like, and then they made up this like world about it. And then like, so you always talk about the bad times of but how long did it take you to come out of that negative 300K? Sorry, Ashtray. The Greek god question was better. I love you, though. So come back next week. And I guess we got to end it at some point. So peace and love. Love you guys. And thanks for tuning in. Kevin, you're the champ.
Remind them to do what?
Drink and grow rich. There wasn't any people in there.
Oh.
What the fuck? It's all right. Lives on in history.
Well, second, you should live on YouTube.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah.
Kevin, you're the champ.
Nice. It was fun, man.